Hey everybody, Stephen Bogren here from Pro Physique. Today I'm talking about how to set up your workouts.
My name is Steven and this is our video about health and fitness things, and I work for Pro Physique and I am just a guy with a fitness thing for you.
Alright everybody, I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday and start to the week this week. What a great topic to discuss for those of us who love training. I like lifting weights. It's made my life better. And hopefully it will help make your lives better too. But as we get started and as we're getting into this new kind of resistance training, health, fitness lifestyle, it can be really confusing as to where do I start? What do I do? How do I even set up my training program, and how do I navigate the gym? And so a lot of us have these questions, but we don't necessarily find really good answers. And we may not find good answers even at the gym. And I've heard a ton of horror stories of personal trainers bringing people in and just putting them through a really gnarly workout who haven't been working out at all and who are deconditioned. And so we're gonna start off with number one of how we set up our workout is set up your workout based off of what you've been doing. We talk about this all the time when we talk about progressive overload, and that's how we gain muscle, that's how we do this entire fitness thing. If we want to overload progressively, it means paying attention to what we have been doing and increasing slowly over time. Doing that in a manner to where we are going to make progress and make progress safely. If you have not been working out at all, if you have been inactive and sedentary and you're just trying to get back into the gym, the last thing you need to do is start working out 5 days a week and going really hard. You will most likely be able to make progress on something like 2 days a week. That's 2 days a week. Doing full body splits and keeping it really easy on yourself. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because physiologically, you're not used to the stimulus. We want to take our time adapting to that bit by bit. But it also makes a big difference because guess what? Your lifestyle is not used to that. Which means now, every time after we work out, we're probably going to be pretty sore. We're going to have some of that soreness going on, at least at first, as we're instituting new things. But we also aren't used to making time for it. Making time for the gym is a big thing, and it's a lifestyle thing, and that matters. And so if our goal is to set you up to make sure that you are successful in this endeavor, we want to take those things into account. Not everybody has the same amount of time in their day or in their week to be able to prioritize the gym. Some of us just have other things that matter to us that are more important. And that's okay. You don't have to work out 5 or 6 days a week to be healthy and to be fit. So making sure that we understand that and we don't try and force ourselves into something that's not realistic from day one. The other reason why it's important that we use this thing that we call progressive overload is because if you really go hard, and most people will quit, most people will stop, they're not going to go hard enough to do this, but we can actually make ourselves sick and injured by working out too hard. By breaking down too much muscle, having that enter the blood, and that can affect the kidneys. So we want to do it smart and safe, which means not going from 0 to 100 all at once. But what if we're already past that? What if we're already past that point? We're like, hey Steven, yep, I'm working out 2-3 days a week, maybe 3-4 days a week. Cool. Same thing, progressive overload. What I like to do is I like to add to the workout itself more so, and then add an extra workout if we're getting to the point where it's too time consuming or we're not recovering from it. So the number 2 thing that I think that we want to be aware of in terms of that is if we're already in the gym, we're working out, we're doing that nice progressive overload, is our exercise order. How do we set up our workouts? Well, we worry about exercise order. Now for me, what that's going to mean is compound movements first. Especially any kind of compound movements that may put stress on your bracing or your spine. The reason why that's important is because those do take a toll on us neuromuscularly, right? So our brain's ability to recruit everything. And we do have that fatigue within workouts as well. We get brain tired, okay? So we want to make sure that if we're going to do any of those exercises that maybe have a little bit more of that inherent risk on there, that we're going to do them first and foremost when we're fresh, when we're able to perform the movement safely and effectively, and really make sure we get our movements done there for all of our compounds. So I really like the compounds first, and then working into more isolatory movements. So what that might mean is if I'm going to squat, I'm going to have squat as my first movement. Then maybe I move on to some leg press, and then finish up with maybe leg extensions and leg curls. I'm going from these larger muscle groups, full body kind of movements, down to more isolatory movements to really get those smaller muscles as we go. Now, are your quads smaller muscles? Well, mine are. But I hope that makes sense. So same thing. If I was going to do a bench press, I would start off with the bench press, then maybe I would work over to some dumbbell stuff, maybe some flies, maybe even end with a little bit of push-ups, and then start working into something like deltoids, shoulders, and arms. And I would do that to make sure that I'm not giving myself more room for risk. Very simple. So when we talk about how do we set up our exercise stuff, one, you start where you start. That's easy. You just start wherever you're at. You work your way up from there. 2, exercise order, very important, okay? 3 for me is exercise intensity. And what intensity means is the amount of weight that we're lifting relative to our 1 rep max, our maximal strength. You could also use the word intensity to talk about things like drop sets, going to failure, supersets, and things of the like. They all kind of go well together here. And I like to do this because they're kind of going in order. So we've been in the gym. We're doing our compounds first. Our workouts are created as safely or to minimize excessive risk. Now we're talking about, all right, things are getting maybe a little bit harder. Maybe we're not seeing the same results. Now we can start adding some more intensity. We'll talk about it first in terms of strength. We want to wait to really start going hard on our strength stuff until we have everything really well settled with form and safe exercise execution. Once we start having that, now we can start looking more at weight. We know that we're performing the exercises correctly. We know that they're being done in a way that they're going to hit the muscle groups that we want, and we know that they're minimizing our injury risk through that. Now we can start pushing that weight up and working on really getting our maximal strength improved. This is also a great opportunity for us who are really worried about hypertrophy and growth, maybe as opposed to strength, to start utilizing things like going to failure every once in a while, to start utilizing things like supersets to save time in the gym with maybe opposing muscle groups so that we're not having to spend all of our days lifting, right? Maybe this is a great opportunity for us to utilize something like drop sets to, again, get a little bit more volume in and help to progress that over time. We don't want to use those first and foremost, and we do want to be sparing about how we use those things because of the fact that they are tough on recovery. Making sure that we're utilizing these in a way that still allows us to recover from our workouts. We're not, I don't like being sore for 3-4 days after a workout. I don't like going in and working out when I'm sore. Making sure that I'm using those things sparingly and intelligently helps me to not have to deal with those things. It also makes sure that because when we talk about recovery, you can have the best workout in the world, but if you cannot recover and get better from it, it did not have the desired effect. So real quick, the 4th one is prioritize recovery and think about recovery when you're setting up your workouts. Don't just think about how you can go into the gym and go hard and murder yourself and feel like you did a lot of work. Also think about how is your sleep, how is your nutrition, and how are those things also going on in life going to impact your ability to recover and get better and grow new muscle. So that's my advice on how to set up a workout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll talk soon.